Hello, this is Teacher Grandma, a teacher for 34 years and a grandmother of two pretty little girls. Today we are going to do our first lesson, which is a lesson on accents. Now, accents are the dots and the dashes that are put on top of or below a letter of the alphabet to get a particular sound out of it. Now, when you learn a language, it's very, very important for you to pay attention to the sound of the words. When you speak French like a French person. And so you will find the 5 accents that are put up on the board. The first accent is the aigu, the second, the grave, the third, the circumflex, the fourth, the cedille, and the fifth, the tremor. Now, they're called sometimes by different names in the Indian classroom. And when I teach French, my thought process is always, let's do an Indian journey to the heart of France. So, the first accent, which is the aigu, is sometimes called the acute. Probably because it looks like one arm of the acute angle. Now, I'm teaching you the French with relation to English so that you understand it, because English is the language of most of the schools in India. And so when you look at this word that I have put up, this word, when the English read it, it's an English word. When the English read it, they open their mouth and they speak. And so the English will say, Andrew, Andrew. I take the same word and I put the French form of it without the accent. This word otherwise has an accent. Now, when the French read an, on, and en, it has an on sound. On. When the French read this word, they will read this word as ondre, because they don't pronounce the last letter of the word. Now you take the same word and let's put a French accent to it, which is the aigu, and the change becomes, the sound of this word becomes André. André is Andrew in English. I'm putting another word, and when you look at this word, read it with the sound. So you have a, les, font. T is not sounded because it's the last letter of the word. A, les, font. I very often hear Indian students, when they look at the word, it looks like an English word, so they say elephant. Speak it like the French person. Éléphant. Éléphant is elephant in English. The next one. The next one is the grave. The grave is put on an E or on an A. When it's put on the A, it doesn't change the sound. When it's put on the E, I've put a French word up. This word would be règle. Now I'm taking out the accent, and if I pronounce it without the accent, it would be règle. I put the accent again, and it becomes règle. So the E with a grave on it has a eh sound. Règle is a ruler, a scale, or even a rule. Let's do the third accent. The third accent is the circumflex, called the chapeau by French teachers. Chapeau meaning hat. And if you look at it, it does look like a party hat. Now, just as we have Old English and New English, for example, in the Old English we would say thou and thy. In the New English, for the same words, we would say you and your. In French, this word that is put up is vêtement. Vêtement. Now they changed it by removing that S and made it vêtement. Let's go to the word Westmore. Westmore is an English word, and when pronounced as an English word, it would be vestment. Meaning of vestment? A vestment is the clothes that a priest wears on the altar. And now we look at the French word vêtement, and vêtement means clothes. I've put another word. Now when I read this word, I want to first go to the vowels. Do we know the vowels in English? Yes, the vowels in English are A, E, I, O, U. The word for vowel in French is voyelle. And the vowels in French are A, E, I, O, U. And there is one more. It's the H mute or the H aspire. The H is the H mute or the H aspire. Do you know the meaning of mute? Mute means no sound. And the meaning of aspire is it's just the sound of air. Okay? So I've put this word on the board and I will not pronounce it because it's a H mute. And you will read this word as hospital. Hospital. Now, the modern French word is hôpital. Hôpital. Hôpital means hospital. You are very right. The next accent is the cédille. And the cédille is an accent which is placed below a C to change the sound of a C from a K to a S. It is only placed on a C that is followed by an O or an A. And so, when I put this word is without the accent, and if I pronounce it, it would be garçon, because the C doesn't have a cédille. I put the cédille to it, and now the sound becomes garçon. Garçon means boy. Remember, it is put on a C, which is followed by an O or an A to change the sound from a K to a S. Let's go to the last one. The last one is the tréma. And the tréma is also called the double pointu. If you look at this word and you read it English style, it is Noel. You read the same word French style and it becomes Noel. It becomes Noel because the two vowels are put together. Now I don't want to pronounce this word as Noel. I want to pronounce this word as Noel. And so I put the double pointu and it breaks the sound of the two syllables into Noel. Noel means Christmas. And so you must have heard the Christmas carol, the first Noel. I hope you enjoyed this class. This is Teacher Grandma saying thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. En français, c'est merci beaucoup.